All right, welcome to the Dunbow Recreation Board regular meeting, and also we're accepting applications in this meeting. It's Monday, March 23rd, 2026 at 6:33 p.m. My name's Andrew Bennett and I'm calling the meeting to order. I'm the chairperson. This meeting is being live streamed and will be available on the county's website for later viewing. First on the agenda is approving the agenda. Now, Joanne, I saw after the original agenda was sent out, you sent an item out that we're basically adding an addition. Item 3.5 will be basically discussing Dunbow Recreation Board financials. Is that correct?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Are there any other additions or deletions we need to talk about?
The only other error that is in your agenda, on your front page, the item 3.1A should actually be on page 3, not on page 1. Apologies for that.
3.1A. Oh. Okay. So you're saying we're doing it in a different order?
No, it was a clerical error. But the bookmarks are correct if you're using the bookmarks on the side of your PDF.
Oh, okay. I just printed it off. It looks fine. You can correct me as we go through. But okay, so I don't see any other hands raised. So can I look for a motion to accept the agenda as presented with the amendment for item 3.5? Can I have that motion from somebody? Oh, I see Paul's doing the thumbs up. So is that the...
I'll give you that motion.
Okay.
Chat.
Right. Is anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, we'll consider the motion carried. Now we're going down to business. 3.1 community recreation project reports. Joanna?
So in your agenda package on page, they start on page 3, and item 3.1A is the final report for the Lake at Heritage Point Owners Association, the Sport Court resurfacing project, which the project started in 2024. And I'm just looking for if you had any questions that I can't really answer, but we do have somebody here tonight that will be able to answer those questions if you have any on that.
Okay. Well, what I'm thinking, and unless somebody wants to talk about this status report, let's just go straight to, I'm looking for a motion to accept the 2024 DRB 006 Lake at Heritage Point Owners Association Sports Court Resurfacing Final Project Report as distributed and placed on file for information purposes.
I'll give you that motion. Oh, sorry.
Jonathan, I'll take Jonathan. Is anybody opposed? No? Okay. And Rick Gallant is here for another purpose for his application, so we could also ask him a question if we really had to. So do you want to say anything specific, Joanna, about 3B, or just go straight to the motion?
Unless anybody has any questions about the report, again.
Okay. We'll give people, does anybody have any questions about the Okotoks Outrider 4-H Horse Club project report? No? Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to accept the 2025 DRB 001 Okotoks Outriders 4-H Horse Club Final Project Report as distributed and place on file for information purposes.
I'll give you that motion, Andrew.
That I kind of missed that.
Andrew, we're having trouble hearing you. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm really having trouble hearing you.
Can you hear me better now?
The same for me as well. You sound a little low, Andrew.
Oh.
Everybody else is way louder.
Yes.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, a little better.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Oh, okay, I'm not doing anything different. Studio. Okay, well, if you guys can hear me more or less, I'll just carry on. Okay, sorry, got me mixed up here. Okay, so we had that motion. Who gave me that motion for the 4-H Horse Club?
I did.
John Callister.
Okay, John Callister, thank you. Is anybody opposed? No? Okay, we'll consider the motion carried. And yeah, speak up if for whatever reason you can't hear me. I'll try to speak really loud. So now let's go on to 3.2, funding application presentations. Do we want to, well, I guess we give them 2 minutes here. Let's see. Audio, why would this be?
Chairman,
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we could do item 4. It's a really quick. I think
Okay.
we can do it in under a minute.
All right, let's go to number 4, Joanna.
So we have the tour that's booked for, or that we agreed to for June the 15th. I'm wondering, and you can think about this and make a decision now, or you can we can wait for that until later. To think about visiting Davisburg, the Davisburg Hall, and the schools. And if we do have enough time that night, we could finish up at Heritage Point.
Okay, I mean, I'm okay if you want to just circulate, an agenda for the tour. I mean, that sounds fine unless anybody has some objections.
No, I'll give you the motion to accept the action items as presented and discussed for information purposes.
Well,
Sure.
thank you very much, Paul. You're right on top of things. Well, I guess, is anybody opposed to that? No?
If I might, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sure.
So that would only be for the tour, item number 4.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, just for the item.
Yeah.
In discussion.
Okay.
All right. So do we want to go back to item 3.2A, the Davisburg Community Association?
Yes, if you're good, Mr. Chair, I can let in Eric, Diana, and Veronica.
Okay, let them in. Hello, Veronica, Diana, and Eric.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, Mr. Bennett, you're still very quiet in comparison to everyone else.
Well, I apologize. I don't know what else to do here.
To the chair, if I could just give you a quick technical fix potentially for that. On the audio on the bottom left of your screen, you'll see that there's a little up arrow from that. If you go to audio settings, you'll see that there's an output volume bar. Is that all the way across to the right to 100%?
Yeah. Let me just I'm going to change it to a different studio display speakers. Mac Studio.
The other option that it could be is it may be taken from the wrong microphone. There's a microphone drop down in that same menu. There might be a couple of microphones you can check there if there's a few options coming up, like the USB or the camera.
Does this sound better or different?
That's much better.
Yeah.
Okay, I randomly picked something. It's my wife's computer. That's my out. So I apologize, people. I do apologize.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you for the tech assistance. There we go. All right. Well, Eric, are you going to be sharing your screen at all, or?
Yeah, so I just requested the right to share, so.
Okay.
Let me see if that happens now.
Yeah, you should be good now.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you should see a Suncoast enclosure project proposal. Let me see. Okay, there we go. There we go. It says that I'm sharing.
Yeah, see it.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm Eric Tudor with the president of Davisburg Community Association. I got two other directors with me tonight. I see Veronica Fradadet is with us, and she's our secretary, and Diana Frock should be joining us also. So with that being said, we're reaching out to the DRB. We're looking at a project for our deck, which was built back about 10 years ago. And maybe I'll just bring it down here for people that aren't aware. Let me come back down here. Bear with me for a second. Okay, so this is on the west side of our building. We have a large deck that's covered. We built this back in about 2008. I think actually the DRB or the county helped us with this. We also had the provincial government help us build this deck. It's been very successful. It allows us, one of the things is running our facility is always trying to make sure that any improvements we make, we don't incur a large cost in operating. So we try to keep the heated square footage small, but try to find opportunities to enhance the facility without adding additional operating costs. So this deck here has been very successful being used. And I got a couple other pictures of it here. You know, here's from the inside looking out from there. And this is the playground that was helped facilitate, I think, about 6 years ago. But what we're looking at is trying to increase the usability of this deck. One of the two problems that we have when we're using this deck is in the summer, late summers, you've heard about our patio nights. When the sun starts getting lower, it starts getting very hot on there. So we had tried some small, cheaper screens for shading there. They were good, but they'd only last us a season. We'd have to change them out from that end of it. The other one is any wind coming through here causes a lot of discomfort, I find. And if we find that we just put it onto the outside on one side there, we create a wind tunnel. During our turkey suppers, it's not uncommon that you see us put up tarps. We actually use this for our turkey supper in October, that we have people sitting out here having their turkey supper, and it's very popular to be out on the deck. So what we're asking for here is, these are the two ends that we're looking at. But what we're looking at is that we went out and looked at commercial roller blinds, which are meshed to reduce the wind. And the idea here is to put 4 of them out on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, one along the north side, and one partially on the south side where we got the ramp. And the idea here is that we can cut down the wind, make it more comfortable. We can see it being used by user groups, such as some of our fitness groups, that they move out there because of the blocking the wind and such like that. So we see it as a major uptick for our use of our patio and for our facility. It helps us as we do build out. Now, this is we actually looked at a very commercial opportunity here. So these are the ones that you'd see used at restaurants. And from Diana Frock, she's mentioned that they went and viewed them here recently, and you can't walk through these. You can't damage them. They come with a 5-year warranty on the motors. And the screens are 15 years or 10 years, and the hardware is 15 years. So a very durable piece of equipment for long-term use. So to give you an idea of what we're looking at is to have this thing cleaned in. Is there any questions of what we're trying to do here?
No, it looks good, Eric. And actually, my wife and I actually have almost exactly the same thing. Obviously, the smaller scope from Suncoast Enclosures installed at our house, and we found it, it works, and it's been handy to make a space more usable throughout the year.
Okay, good. No, any shortcomings you've seen that you might want to suggest to us? I know we've looked at a couple of different products, but
it was fine. I mean, sometimes when we use it when it's cold, sometimes the screen doesn't go down all the way, and you kind of have to pull it a little bit. I mean, It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, good. Because of the large area that we're looking at, I'll come back here to the cost. We went out to 2 groups for a cost. They're very comparable, but for the front screens, the 4 that I showed you, the cost for those are $19,000 installed. And then the north and south is another $11,000. And then what we want to do, because we got a slope on our roof, it's basically we got to have it square, so we got to fill it in. There's a fill in above there that we're looking at, which is another $3,000. So the whole total that we're looking at with GST and everything is about $34,820. That is the cost of the project that we're looking at. If I understand right, I don't see Diana on here. Diana, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm here, Eric.
Did you mention that this price includes a cost for an electrician?
The Suncoast quote includes a cost for the electrical work. We might have a little bit of residual, but not too much.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Eric, sorry to interrupt you. I see Paul's had his hand up for a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Paul, do you want to ask your question?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for this proposal. It looks really like a thoughtful upgrade to the community space, and we appreciate the work that's gone into it to find it. I do have just a couple of questions. Could you share a bit more about how the upgrade will benefit the community on day to day? I know you mentioned community suppers and stuff like that, but do you expect this to increase bookings or allow for new types of events at the hall?
You know what? I'm gonna pass that over. Not to put you on the spot, Diana, but you were mentioning this earlier that you had a good explanation.
Mm-hmm. I would say for sure it would increase the usability of the deck. It'll stretch seasons and both for paid rentals, but also for expanding the community use through, like I can see it being used in spring training for some of the baseball coach clinic that we do. I can see the sports groups moving out, like yoga, kickboxing, moving out onto the deck, which they do already. And we've had I don't know if you call it consumer grade screen on there for 10 or so years that we installed right before one turkey supper when the weather was inclement. And those screens gave us a good sample of how the deck was stretched by having those. Just makes it so much more comfortable on the deck. But they've not held up really good in the public setting that we're in.
Mm-hmm. So I have a quick question either for Diana or Eric. Had you thought about, now you got it kind of partially enclosed, and to make more use of the area, had you guys thought about those outdoor heaters to kind of keep things warm like longer into the season, or was that kind of out of the scope of what you were considering?
I'll start on that, Eric. We when Veronica and I went to Suncoast, they had heaters there, and we looked longingly at them, but we didn't include them in this proposal.
Okay. They're nice. I'll say that's maybe another project to consider.
Yeah, Veronica, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, they were very nice, but you could also look at those propane patio heaters that are pretty inexpensive. Like that look like the umbrella that you put around tables, but I think it would just extend the season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you, sorry, one more question, if I may, through the chair.
Yeah.
Just some financial clarity. Do you have an estimate of how this might impact revenue and usage of the hall, or are there any other funding sources or contributions being considered alongside this request?
The plan is to right now the budget is about 34,820 in the most recent. I think in our proposal was 34,500. But our plan is to put $5,000 towards this out of our current cash flow that we have, and plus supply the project management. I'm sure there's going to be some weather work that we got to be involved with plus any cost overruns that we might have to add a little extra for an electrician to come in and do a final. But there is a budget within this for electrician. We went out to another group and very close, within $1,000 for a second quote on this too. So we do find that this group here, from what I understand, and Diana and Veronica, you could probably confirm that these people were very proactive on putting together a proposal and meeting our needs and our requests.
Yeah, the Suncoast was really good. Paul, your question about whether it would have an upside financially over time, I can't imagine it won't. Every time we do an upgrade on the hall's more attractive to community use for rentals or whatever. And like Eric said, we've been cognizant of not increasing our operational costs because that's we try to keep our rental rates pretty low and or not pretty low, but we try to keep them fair so the hall is a resource that the community can take advantage of and use for family gatherings or other community functions. So I'm certain that improving the deck would be attractive to many people that use the hall.
Thank you so much for the answer to that question. I agree with you. It's always nice just to see that those things are brought in mind when we're talking about funding through a rec board. And I've used the hall myself many times. And I think it's a great beacon in the community. I really appreciate seeing these kind of things happen to share the enhanced spaces. And I love that it is open to all of the residents that DRB serves as well. So thank you so much for the answers to those questions.
We're currently we're working on from last year. We did a joint grant to refresh the inside, new flooring, new paint, change out some historical carpeting we got on the wall and such like that. We're doing that right now. We got a grant from the government to help us with that, and DRB came in and helped us with that too. We put money into it, so we're in the process of doing that. And it was this came about of how can we enhance the deck to make it even more appealing to the user people. So from that end, but
I think you've done a great job of explaining everything and putting this forward. I also watched the videos from the company that you chose. They're Alberta company. It's a generational company now. Now the son is running it. In that video, there was some examples of their workmanship. So I'm fully behind that as well. To the chair and to the floor. Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any more questions at all? Okay, well, thank you very much, Eric, Diana, and Veronica. And for sure, if you guys want to see what various heaters look like, you can just come to my house and I can show you. So,
Well, the other piece, Andrew, that they had at the showroom were the lights that are inset in the eave.
Okay.
So Veronica and I were admiring both those elements. So that could be a future addition.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for your presentation, and we'll be you'll find out about our decision shortly.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
have a good evening.
Have a good night,
Thanks,
everyone.
Diana and Veronica.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric and Diana. Veronica.
Thank you.
All right. So are the next batch of people from Dwinton Community Association already available?
Yeah, so it looks like we have Cindy and then one labeled DeWinton Community Association. So I'll let them in now.
Okay, it's probably Mike, I suppose.
And it does look like our other guests signed off. So that's good. All right, they're here.
All right. Welcome, Cindy and Mike. I think they're still muted.
I'm still muted. How about now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay. And it looks like I don't have my start video.
Oh,
Here I am. And there you are. And Cindy is there too. Cindy's quietly sitting in the corner. So,
okay.
and okay, folks, I just want to say thank you very much for allowing Cindy and myself, and my name is Mike, even though it says DCA on there, to join this meeting and speak to our funding application. Um, uh, so both Cindy and I volunteer on the board at the DCA. We've been involved for many years, a lot of great people on there, a lot of great activities going on. The DCA has been around in one way or another. And just as a side note, forgive me for those who have heard this before. Like many of you know about the DCA, but I'm going to just repeat it in case we've got any new ears on the line. So the DCA has been around for over 100 years. We're dedicated to fostering a strong community spirit through events and programs. We have activities for all ages aimed at physical, social, and mental well-being. Activities include canasta. I'm still trying to figure out what canasta is. When they first told me we were doing canasta, I thought it was those clicky things, remember from the 70s? But apparently it's a game. So we do canasta, bridge, exercise, quilting, dog scent classes, as well as a ladies' coffee club. Our big events include Canada Day breakfast, Western dance, a Christmas fair, paint and sip night, Halloween at the Hall, and a volunteer appreciation night, as well as a whole bunch of other smaller events. We help out a lot of other nonprofits in the area, such as 4-H, Girl Guides, the Pine Creek Cemetery, the DeWinton United Church, and Neighborhood Watch. And they all get free meeting space as needed at the hall. And around our grounds, we have a playground, portable pickleball, basketball, soccer, ball hockey nets, horseshoe pits, and various other sports equipment available to the community at large. Okay, so as some of you may know, and if you don't, this might be news. About 30 years ago, our hall burnt down, and then it was rebuilt in the mid-90s. And so what that means is everything in the hall is 30 plus years old now. And so our full HVAC system is over 30 years. HVAC is heat, ventilation, air conditioning, HVAC. So our HVAC is at the end of life. It's in disrepair and is failing regularly. Heat and hot water are required by AHS for general use and for our third-party preschool. When these systems fail, excuse me, the hall is required to be shut down until reparations are made. This impacts community groups, including the preschool, weddings, events, user groups, and anybody getting the donated space. And so over the past year, it's actually been a year plus, the DCA has been repairing and patching the HVAC systems with each failure. The costs have continued to escalate to where they're just not sustainable. We're always throwing money at it, we're lucky our facility manager who's on site has learned. He wasn't originally, but now he's a little bit of an expert on boiler systems and knows where to hit it with the hammer, tap it with the hammer to make things get back into gear once in a while. So between failing equipment, ongoing costs, and the impact to all of our users, we've basically come to the conclusion that a full replacement of the system is required. We can't continue on with the baling wire and bubble gum. And just as an aside, to move to new equipment, specifically the furnaces, will increase efficiency because the current furnaces are mid efficiency at best, and anything nowadays is ultra high efficiency. As well, new equipment would prevent the risk of catastrophic failures such as freezing or ruptured water pipes, or anything that would happen to the in-floor heating. And then we've, in our HVAC project, we've included air conditioning to allow greater use of the hall during hot summer months because it gets quite roasty in there in the summer. So basically, in scope for this project, we have 2 forced air furnaces, and of note, we have chosen or are choosing to upgrade at a cost of about $600 each for the 2 furnaces to Napoleons. mainly because they've got a good reputation, but they're Canadian made. So we try to buy Canadian, hire local, wherever we can. So what else? So we also have a boiler system that provides hot water and heating for the in-floor heating. So we have a combination of forced air heat and in-floor heat. And then we're factoring in 2 air conditioning units, which would have 4 heads in the hall. There'd be a head in the hall, or 2 heads in the hall, a head in the kitchen, and a cooling head in the preschool. So we solicited quotes from multiple vendors. We reached out to quite a few vendors. We actually ended up with only 2 actual paper signed, sealed, delivered quotes. The quote chosen is from a company called Custom Mechanical and Heating, and we chose them because they're the least expensive. They gave the most detailed, most comprehensive quote. They included a discount for us as a nonprofit, which we really appreciated, and they are a local contractor based out of Okotoks. What else? So when we get to the scope of the work, it includes things as you might imagine. It's the removal and disposal of the old equipment. Lots of preparation. There's coring, which is drilling holes through the cement foundation, vent work, plumbing, and electrical. There's the installation, and then the cleanup afterwards. As some of you know, we've got a pretty strong volunteer contingent in De Winton, and we try to be as self-sufficient as we can. We do as much as we can. All of us, whether we're on the board or just hanging around the community, we're rolling up our sleeves, doing what we can. Unfortunately, a project like this, we can't do a whole lot because it involves natural gas and such. And from safety perspective, basically where we can get involved in is more of the post-project cleanup. So making sure everything's cleaned up. We know there's going to be dust everywhere, which might take weeks to eventually clean up. Okay, I will stop speaking in 10 seconds and catch my breath. So basically the cost of the project is about $55,000. We are asking hat in hand for the DRB to consider 2/3, and we would pay 1/3 of it. And yeah, that's about it. I'll shut up now and hopefully answer any questions you have.
All right. Are there any questions? Okay, I see Paul, your hand's raised.
Hi. Thank you, Mike, for the presentation. Roughly how often is the system failing now? I know you said it was failing all the time.
It's a good question, Paul. So right now when we're out of the cold weather, it's somewhat reliable. During the coldest winter months, we were actually having our facility manager come in. He was coming in like an hour before his shift to see if the boiler was running or not, because the preschool's showing up in an hour with the kids and they need hot water, and he would do things like I call it burping the system, but bleeding the system and restarting things and such. So at the peak, it was pretty much weekly, and we were getting into thousands of dollars of hiring the plumber and an HVAC professional to come in and do things that we could not do ourselves. So it was ongoing.
Okay. Do you have a follow-up, Paul?
Yeah, I do. Thank you for that. And have you had any cancellations or disruptions because of it? I know you mentioned that it was interrupting some of the goings on there, but did they cancel as a result of that?
I can help.
I might defer to Cindy because I thought we had to cancel something.
Yeah, we had to. We were fortunate. We only had to cancel one 2-day event. It was a Girl Guide sleepover, and so there was just, we couldn't have them overnight in the hall. It was just not safe.
Through the chair, that's just going to get worse, I imagine, as this thing continues to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Callister, see your hands up.
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair to the applicant, is there a warranty that comes with this? Service warranty with the installer? Any information there?
So that's sort of a two-part question, and so the equipment and everything would have a warranty. I'm not sure if I have it in front of me on the quote here. The piece that wasn't included in the estimate that we provided, because it's sort of a side piece, is a maintenance program. So this company also offers, and we're considering it on the side to determine whether the cost benefit value of it. So beyond the regular warranty, would we basically go on a subscription where we pay either monthly or annually to get
backups,
get discounts and no charge out fees and things like that. So that's sort of a side piece that we're looking at.
And did they find any deficiencies in the current system they would have to do in the, say, in the in-floor heating or the existing ducting?
The in-floor heating, when things were failing, one of the failures was unrelated to the actual furnace or boiler, and it was the in-floor heating has some air valves, so pressure release valves. So they're like little vent valves. And over the winter, we were having the floor system water / glycol levels continue to drop, and finally it's like, okay, there's got to be a leak somewhere, and we had the plumber come in and he replaced several of the vents, but said the heating pipes themselves should be okay.
Okay, and so there is an installation warranty?
I believe so. Let me just have a look. I'm not sure if it's. Yeah, I can't quote it. I do have the service packages here.
Yeah, it's. I mean, when you're installing new equipment onto old floor piping and ducting, it's hard for them to put a warranty on that stuff. But I was just curious.
Right. Well, I'm kind of speculating here, but I would say that the equipment would all have, your standard year warranty. That's what I'm assuming. I would not expect any warranty on the in-floor heating part, because that's just, it's new stuff being plugged onto the side of that. So it's still the 30-year-old pipes there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Paul, I see your hands raised.
The furnaces themselves, I think, have a 10-year warranty.
That's right.
Okay. Paul?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was just going to say you can register those furnaces online. They give you a 10-year warranty just to help John along with that. But you do have to register it online, I guess. Kind of threw me off my train there. It's nice that you looked at the Canadian-made equipment. I think it's really good to support Canada, so I really appreciate that part into the application as well. I guess an easy win for you here. Will the new system improve energy efficiency or reduce the operating costs compared to what you have now?
Absolutely. Just from the fact that we're going from a mid-efficiency furnace, which, depending on who you talk to, like 60 to 80% efficient, to these ultra high efficiencies, which are 95, 98%, give or take. So we'll see savings just there. This is only partially a joke, but with the new thermostats that we can look at remotely, once the quilting ladies have left, they tend to turn up the heat and then they leave and they forget to turn it down. So we'll be able to look at it remotely and put it back to where it should be.
I know those quilting ladies. In fact, one of them is my neighbor, Viv, that comes in, and they also play canasta.
We love them. Just so you know, we love
They're
them.
great.
We adore them.
They're great. Yeah. No, thank you so thank you so much for that, Mike. When you mentioned canasta, I'm a big fan of the game myself. I've actually been mentioning it on every Dunbow Rec Board meeting that you guys hold canasta there, because I think it's important to have those in our community. So it did put a smile on my face when you mentioned canasta, and then was like, I don't know what it is, but I would encourage you to take it up.
Okay, noted. Thanks.
All right. Are there any more questions? Okay. Well, it looks like we've covered off things pretty good. I mean, thank you very much for your application, and I think it's obviously very needed. So, all right.
Well, thank you for allowing us to join. And if there's any follow-up questions, I know Joanna can be in touch with us, and happy to answer anything. And thank you very much. Really appreciate your consideration. You guys have been such great partners in the community for many years, and we just really appreciate your consideration.
All right. Well, keep up the good work on your end. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Rick Gallant available yet?
Yes, so he's in the waiting room. I will remove our two guests. All right, so Rick should be with you now.
All right. Mr. Gallant, how's it going?
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's a lot of buttons to push to get unmuted.
No, that's okay. Well, welcome, Rick. I mean, are you going to share your screen or just talk to it, or?
Okay, hold on. What have I got? Oh, here we go. There we go.
Okay. You got an iPad going there.
I do. Okay, all good?
Yep.
All right. So you have our proposal to acquire 2 new soccer nets for the sports field next to our community here. I'm sure everyone's aware, but this is a sports field owned by the county. There's a baseball diamond, a soccer pitch, and a parking lot, and an area that had originally been cleared for tennis courts, but still sits with no development on it, just full of weeds. So, and so several years ago, I'm going to say 4 years ago, we started putting soccer nets up on the goalposts that are there in the field, and actually putting lines in on the field. We actually put the lines in with a line making machine that the Dunbow Rec Board helped us to purchase. So we've been kind of managing, if you will, the soccer field for people that want to use it, and Les actually helps to schedule it so that people can actually book it and know that it's going to be available if they want to bring their group out to play soccer. So the nets that we've been putting up for the last 4 years weren't particularly high-end nets at the time when we purchased them, and they're now getting pretty degraded after sitting out in the sun all summer and getting lots of use. They're full of holes, and it's really just time to replace them. And so our proposal was to have the Dunbow Rec Board replace the nets, and our commitment is to continue to put the nets up every year and take them down in the fall, and we'll continue to line the soccer pitch and to manage it so that users can book it if they want to use it. So that's the proposal. Now, Joanna sent me a note indicating there might be questions about why we weren't using the proceeds from our snowmobile and track sitter sale that the Dunbow Rec Board purchased for us a number of years ago. We really weren't getting any use out of it, and so we sold it last year. And so we're well aware of the obligation for us to reinvest those funds in equipment for our community, and we have plans to do so. And I mean, it's probably going to, I mean, at $6,000, it may take us a couple or 3 years to spend it all. This year, we've kind of put in our budget to purchase some replacement stand-up paddle boards for some of our paddle boards that are now kind of reaching the end of their life. And so that's kind of the plan. And then we'll continue to do that going forward as we have other recreational needs in our community. And Joanna tells me you guys have developed a new form for us to track that money until the $6,000 is all spent. So that's kind of the plan. But the soccer nets, when we talked about it, are really not for a Lake at Heritage Point asset. They're for a county asset. And so that's why we had proposed 100% DRB funding for the nets. And then we would, again, as I indicated, just continue to put them up and help manage that facility for people that want to use it.
Okay. Are there any questions for Rick? Paul?
Hey, thank you, Rick. Rick, my honest take on this, it's low cost, it's high visibility. I think you answered some of my questions. Was the availability open to the general public? Who currently uses these soccer fields now? What's the usage look like on them since you've been putting nets up?
Les is unfortunately away in vacation in Mexico, but so I don't know who he actually gets requests from as far as booking the field, but lots of people just show up and use it. And I mean, I know I go out and I have to probably once a week repeg all the nets because as they score countless goals, the pegs get pulled out of the ground. And so I go around kind of once a week and pound everything back in and make sure it's all in good shape for the next group that wants to come use it. So we know it's getting lots of use, and we think that's, I mean, frankly, because we've been putting the nets up as opposed to just a couple of posts standing in the middle of, or a couple goal posts sitting at either end of a big field. It's actually got nets there, and we put lines on it. So the use has been increasing over the last 4 years. Unfortunately, I don't have any statistics on who's using it or how often.
Okay, great. And I guess there's really no ongoing maintenance with this either. I have seen people playing on it myself. It would be nice to get a track and, you know, if families, kids, or it's just people knocking about, but that pretty much is all my questions on this, it seems.
Yeah, the county, obviously the county comes out and mows it. That's not something we're set up to do, so they come out and do that. And then like I said, we put the lines on it and we put the nets up. Last year, I actually got some sandpaper and bought a can of Trimclad and sanded the posts all down and painted them up because they were starting to get pretty banged up and rusty. So the posts look nice, but they work a lot better when they got nets hanging on them.
Amazing. Thanks for painting those lines. Really helps with
No
recreation.
Am I, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Joanna?
I do know that the fields are made available to the Davisburg Community Association for their programming as well. So that's all I had.
Yeah, it's a county asset. I mean, it's available to whoever wants to use it. We just volunteered, since we're right here, to have Les actually manage the booking so that if someone wanted to, they could ensure it was going to be available when they showed up.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question. Maybe it's more to Joanna. I mean, I'm curious. Rick mentioned that this is a county asset. So why isn't it the county doesn't just buy these nets directly? Why does the Lake at Heritage Point HOA have to request purchasing nets for a county? I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding things correctly.
I believe that it's just because of proximity.
Okay. All right.
I believe the current nets, the ones that are kind of at end of life, were also I'm not sure how it was 50-50 or what happened, but a number of years ago, I think the DRB helped us to purchase those. Unfortunately, they just sat in a box for a couple of years. And then Les and I decided, hey, we got nets here, let's put them up. And it was probably about the same time as we got the line marker and said, let's make this a more usable facility. So that's really where we've seen the usage picking up over the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay, sounds good. Are there any more questions for Rick? Nope. Okay, well, it seems like you answered everything there, Rick.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me explain what we're about.
Yeah, thanks for the application.
Okay. Have a great night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, all right, Joanna, so I guess we can move to section or agenda item 3.3, closed session. So I need a motion that in accordance with ATIA section 19 and 20, the Dunbow Rec Board move into a closed session at approximately 7:23 p.m. to discuss the 2026 spring community funding applications. Can I have that motion from somebody?
I'll make the motion, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Is anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, we'll consider the motion carried. So just let us know when we're in All right, so we're back in open session and we just finished our deliberations on the various applications. So I'm going to read out the respective motions and then we'll seek their approval. So motion 1 is with respect to 2026 DRB 001 soccer nets, Lake at Heritage Point Owners Association, and I'm looking for a motion that the Dunbow Rec Board approve in full funding in the amount of $418.34 of the $418.34 requested by the Lake at Heritage Point Owners Association for the Community Recreation Grant Application 2026 DRB 001 soccer nets, funds to be released upon submission of invoices and receipts with the understanding that the final project report will include associated invoices and receipts. Can somebody please provide me that motion?
I'll make that motion, Chair.
Thank you, Susan. Is anybody opposed? No. Okay, we'll consider that motion carried. Moving on, we are looking at 2026 DRB 002 Heating Ventilation System, DeWinton Community Association. I'm looking for a motion that the Dunbow Rec Board approve in full funding in the amount of $36,904.80 of the $36,904.80 requested by the DeWinton Community Association for the Community Recreation Grant Application 2026 DRB 002 Heating Ventilation Systems, funds to be released upon submission of invoices and receipts with the understanding that the final report will include associated invoices and receipts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will give you that motion to fund the heating and ventilation at the Dominion Community Association.
Thank you, John. Is anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, we'll consider that motion carried as well. Next up is 2026 DRB 003 Retractable Screens, Davisburg Community Association. I'm looking for a motion that the Dunbow Rec Board approve in full funding in the amount of $29,500 of the $29,500 requested by the Davisburg Community Association for the Community Recreation Grant Application 2026 DRB 003 Retractable Screens, funds to be released upon submission of invoices and receipts with the understanding that the final project report will include associated invoices and receipts.
Mr. Chair, I will happily give you the motion to approve the funding for the screens.
Thank you very much, Paul. Is anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, well, we will consider the motion carried. So that's all our applications dealt with. Next on the agenda is item 3.5, the Joanna, I guess this is addressing the 2025 Dunbow Recreation Board financials. So I'll toss that over to you. You're muted there, Joanna.
Yeah, I see that. I was gibbering away and what can I say? Okay, so in your yesterday you received the financial reports. Just so that you are aware, these are unaudited financials, but they are prepared through Foothills County for the Dunbow Recreation Board. They do meet the requirements by the I've lost the name of the registries. We'll go with the shortening, registry. So as we discussed in the closed session, we had a wee bit of a discussion about the financials. So do you have any questions about the 2025 financials?
Actually, I do, Joanna, and I mean, it came out of our closed session, but when I flip through the financials, I mean, I don't see anywhere where it's like, hey, you mentioned we have, when we give, when people come through these CFEP grants and we're essentially committing funds, if they do get approval, it doesn't show up in the financials or footnotes that certain funds have been committed to that. Am I just not seeing it right, or is it not in there, or?
You're correct. You're not seeing it there, Mr. Chairman. And the reason being is those funds are committed. However, they are. I've asked for them to be acknowledged in the financials, but because they are not committed, they were not paid out in that year. I'm the one who does ensure that we have that recorded, but it is not in the financials. No.
Are we able to request, like in the footnotes or something, that could be kind of indicated? Because that was something that I would have picked up on, but I didn't.
I will ask again.
Okay, if you could, I think that would just be helpful for information purposes.
Yep.
That would help.
So there is one item in your, what page is that? The very last page of the financials, which identifies the grants that the funds that have gone out. Now, the $14,829.32 for yard maintenance at the Davisburg Community Association did not come through the Davis or the Dunbow Recreation Board, and it is a standing item that has been reoccurring over a number of years, and it was forgotten for a couple of years, and it is back based on a change in. We had this as well last year. It was based on a change in executive, and that information was not carried forward with the Dunbow or with the Davisburg Community Association. So, if there are any comments or questions, I can read out the motions that would include those items.
I mean, I have no specific questions. I mean, are you looking for? I mean, we just need a motion to accept the financials as presented. Is that essentially what you're looking for?
Well, I have two separate motions that I need.
Oh.
You don't have them.
Oh, okay. Well, there. I was okay. Well,
I wasn't sure that we were going to have financials today, and so that's why you don't have the motion.
Okay.
Okay. So the first motion is to acknowledge the 2025 support to the Davisburg Community Association for grounds maintenance.
Okay. Is somebody willing to give Joanna that motion?
I'll give you that motion, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Is anybody opposed? Nope. Motion carried. And you have another motion, Joanna?
The second motion is to approve the Dunbow Recreation Board financial statements as of December 31st, 2025, as presented, and that the Dunbow Recreation Board chairman and one other director sign the Dunbow Recreation Board financial statements December 31st, 2025, and annual return for submission to the Alberta Registry's office.
All right. Can somebody provide that motion to Joanna? Okay, I see.
Motion.
Susan. Okay. Is anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, we'll consider the motion carried. All right. So going through the agenda, I believe the next item we did agenda item number 4, the 2026 tour. We dealt with that already. Now we're on agenda item 5, action items. Joanna.
Oh, I just have to. There we go. Back to the agenda. Okay, so from tonight's meeting, the response letters to the applicants will be sent out. They will receive a phone call tomorrow or a quick email tomorrow that indicates their level of funding, and formal letters will go out after that will identify the requirements of that funding.
Okay.
We talked about the location for the May 4. No, I'm still trying to find the location, and that will be dependent on staffing from our side to do a hybrid meeting.
Okay.
And then we talked about the June 15th tour to be perhaps Davisburg, the schools, and Heritage Point. And as we're at those sites, because those sites have received a number of different awards, I'll have a package prepared for you so that you know what you're looking at when you get there.
Okay, all right. And something I'd want to mention, so for the May 4th meeting, I'm actually going to have to, I actually have a medical appointment very shortly around there, so I'm not actually going to be able to attend the May 4th meeting and be the chairperson. So I'm wondering, Donna, I believe you're the vice chair. So do you think will you be able to attend and chair that meeting in my absence, or?
I think so. I'll
Okay.
check.
Okay.
But I think so.
Okay. All right. So if you can't, that's okay. We'll just have to find somebody else. I wanted to make sure, Joanna, you knew that the odds that I'll be at that meeting are near zero. Okay. Well, let's carry on to, there's a motion. Okay. I need a motion to accept the action items as presented and discussed for information purposes, please.
Sorry, Chair, I just have one question.
Okay.
On the DRB tour, will that be in the daytime? It's a Monday. Or will it be after hours?
If I might, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
It will be our regular time. We may move that to 6 o'clock just to give us a little bit of extra time because there's we do have a bit of travel time between the venues. So yeah, we probably would start at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out which way we're going to start.
Yeah.
Whether we start at Davisburg or we start at the schools. Okay.
And if we knew earlier enough, there's probably, I mean, we could probably start the meeting earlier than 6 if we gave people enough warning so that they could get there. Or do you think 6 is kind of the earliest?
That is entirely up to the board and their scheduling.
Okay. All right. Well, we can discuss that in a separate meeting. I just think if we're going to do a tour starting at 6, going to multiple places, it might start getting a little late. So we can discuss that later. So
I can send a request out, and you can let me know.
Yeah.
If 5 o'clock or 5:30 works better. 5:30, or 6 o'clock. How would that be then?
Yeah. If you could send out like a doodle poll or something like that, and we could do with it then. All right, so can I have a motion to accept the action items as presented and discuss for information purposes?
I'll give you that motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Is anybody opposed? Nope. Okay, motion carried. So our next meeting is scheduled for May 4, 2026. It'll be a regular meeting. It's expected to be hybrid, but the details are still in works and they'll be forthcoming. So with that, all I get to do now is adjourn the meeting. So thank you very much for coming out and participating in evaluating all these great funding applications. Very much appreciated.